The necklace. Warming up. Talking about myself. Write a few lines about yourself, your name, appearance, family, the place where you live, your school, your friends, neighbors, relatives, your likes, dislikes, hobbies, what you are good at, etc. Now create an imaginary persona for yourself. It can be quite different from your real self, or you may choose a character from a novel, story, etc. Write a few lines about this imaginary persona and introduce yourself in that role. Real self, imaginary persona. You can write this as homework. My dream position. Is there something that you would like to own more than anything else? Describe your dream position with the help of the following points. You may add your own points too. My dream position is what it is, what you would do to get it, whether you would share it with others, its appearance, color, shape, size, etc. Its use, where you saw it first, what you would use it for, how you would use it, why you want it so much. You can do that as homework. Now, coming to the lesson, the chapter The Necklace is about a woman named Mathilde who suffers because of her greedy and envious nature. Mathilde was a pretty and charming girl born into a family of clerks and wedded to a minor official at the Ministry of Education. She lived in a shabby, poorly built house but dreamt of a grand mansion and a luxurious life. She was ashamed of her status and envied her friend, Madame Forestier, for all the wealth and riches that she possessed. One evening, her husband brought home a party invitation from the Minister of Education. The invitation held great importance for Monsieur Loisel. However, Mathilde disliked the idea of the party because she did not have a fancy dress to wear. Mathilde was a pretty and charming girl, born as if by an error of fate into a family of clerks. She had no means of becoming known, understood, loved, or to be wedded to an aristocrat, and so she let herself to be married to a minor official at the Ministry of Education. She dressed plainly because she had never been able to afford anything better. She suffered endlessly, feeling she was entitled to all the luxuries of life. She suffered because of a shabby, poorly furnished house. All these things that another woman of her class would not even have noticed tormented her and made her resentful. She dreamt of a grand palatial mansion with vast rooms and inviting smaller rooms perfumed for afternoon chats with close friends. Yet she had no rich dresses, no jewels, nothing. And these were the only things she loved. She wanted so much to charm, to be envied, to be sought after. She had a rich friend, a former schoolmate at the convent, whom she avoided visiting because afterwards she would weep with regret, despair, and misery. One evening, her husband came home with an air of triumph, holding a large envelope in his hand. Look, he said, here's something for you. She tore open the paper and drew out a card on which was printed the words, the Minister of Education and Madame George. MME means Madam, like Mr. and Mrs. in English. French people write like this. For Madam, they write MME, capital M, small m, E. So you have to read this as Madam. So the Minister of Education, she tore open the paper and drew out a card on which was printed the words, the Minister of Education and Madame George Ramponneau request the pressure of M and MME. That means here M stands for Monsieur and MME stands for Madam. Request the pleasure of Monsieur and Madam Loisel's company at the ministry on the evening of Monday, January 18th. Instead of being delighted as her husband had hoped, she threw the invitation on the table resentfully and muttered, "What do you want me to do with that? And what do you expect me to wear if I go?" He hadn't thought of that. He stammered, "Why, the dress you go to the theatre in, it seems very nice to me." Now, let us see the answers for these questions. Why was Mathilde married to a minor official? Mathilde was married to a minor official because she was born in a family of clerks and therefore did not have any means to get married to an aristocrat. So she let herself to be married to a minor official. Now, this is the next question here. Why did Mathilde weep with misery after visiting her schoolmate? Mathilde wept with misery after visiting her schoolmate because she envied her friend for possessing all the luxuries of life that she did not have. What did the envelope hold? The envelope held an invitation by the Minister of Education and Madame George requesting the company of Monsieur and Madame Loisel at the ministry on the evening of January 18th. He stopped, stunned, distressed to see his wife crying. He stuttered, "What is the matter? Let's see, Mathilde. How much would a suitable dress cost?" She thought for a moment, computing the cost and also wondering what amount she could ask for without an immediate refusal. At last, she answered hesitantly, "I don't know exactly, but I think I could do it with 400 francs. He turned a little pale because he had been saving that exact amount to buy a gun for a hunting summer in the country near Nanterre with a few friends. However, he said, "Very well, I can give you 400 francs, but try and get a really beautiful dress." The day of the party drew near and Madame Loisel seemed sad, restless, anxious, though her dress was ready. One evening her husband said to her, "What is the matter? You have been acting strange these last 3 days." She replied, "I am upset that I have no jewels, not a single stone to wear. I would rather not go to the party." "You could wear flowers," he said. "They are very fashionable at this time of year." She was not convinced. The next day she went to her friend's house and told her of her distress. Madame Forestier went to her mirrored wardrobe, took out a large box, brought it back, opened it, and said to Madame Loisel, "Choose, my dear." First, Mathilde saw some bracelets, then a pearl necklace. She tried on the jewellery in the mirror. She kept asking, "You have nothing else?" Now, here, concerned Monsieur Loisel gave her all the money that he had saved to buy a gun, so that she could fulfill her wish and accompany him to the party. After buying the dress, Mathilde longed for jewellery to go along with the dress and shared her sorrows with her rich friend, Madame Forestier. On hearing her friend's woes, Madame Forestier lent her a beautiful necklace that went perfectly well with her dress. Now look at these questions. Was the husband a considerate person? How do you know that? Yes, the husband was a considerate person. We know that from his selfless actions and kind behavior. He had been saving money for himself so that he could buy a gun for hunting in summer in a country near Nanterre with a few friends. But as soon as he saw his wife was unhappy, he wanted to buy and wife wanted to buy a new dress. He gave all his savings to her. Why did Mathilde go to her friend's house and tell her of her distress? Mathilde went to her friend's house and told her of her distress because she wanted to share her problems with a friend in order to lessen her pain. It is possible that she thought that Madame Forestier would help her by providing some solution. What did Madame Forestier's large box contain? Madame Forestier's large box contained the following: some bracelets, a pearl necklace, other jewelry, a black satin box containing a superb diamond necklace. Why yes, but I don't know what you like. Suddenly she discovered in a black satin box a superb diamond necklace, and her heart began to beat with uncontrolled desire. Her hands trembled as she took it. She fastened it around her neck and stood lost in ecstasy as she looked at herself. Then she asked anxiously, hesitating, "Would you lend me this, just this?" "Why, yes, of course." She threw her arms around her friend's neck rapturously, then fled with her treasure. The day of the party arrived. Madame Loisel was a success. She was prettier than all the other women, elegant, gracious, smiling, and full of joy. She danced wildly with passion, forgetting everything in the triumph of her beauty and success, floating in a cloud of happiness. Mathilde and her husband left at about 4 o'clock in the morning. When they were finally in the street, they could not find a cab. They walked down toward the Seine till they found one. They were dropped off at the door in the Rue des Martyrs, and sadly it was all over for her. In front of the mirror, she took a final look at herself in all her glory. But suddenly she uttered a cry. She no longer had the necklace around her neck. "What is the matter?" asked her husband. She turned towards him, panic-stricken. I no longer have Madame Frostier's necklace." He stood up, distraught. "What? How? That's impossible." Now in this page, Mathilde was delighted. On the day of the party, Mathilde looked ravishing. She enjoyed and danced all night. Once home, Mathilde looked into the mirror one last time and was left horrified as she realized that the necklace was missing. Now, coming to the questions here. Which sentence tells us that Mathilde greatly desired the necklace? The first sentence will be, her heart began to beat with uncontrolled desire. The second sentence is, her hands trembled as she took it. Third sentence is, she fastened it around her neck and stood lost in ecstasy as she looked at herself. And the fourth sentence is, then she asked anxiously, hesitating, "Would you lend me this, just this?" Try to express the thoughts that must have passed through Mathilde's mind on seeing the necklace in Mathilde's words. The answer will be, "Oh, how beautiful this necklace is. It goes perfectly with my new dress, and if I wear this to the party, nobody will be able to take their eyes off me. Though only for one night, at least I will get to feel like I am a wealthy aristocrat's wife. How beautiful would the evening be. I should definitely wear this to the party." Think and answer. Why did Mathilde not notice the loss of a necklace? Mathilde did not notice the loss of a necklace because she was happy and was lost in the glamour of the party. She always wanted to be a part of something that was grand and rich. As she found herself to be the center of attention, she did not realize that the necklace was missing. In this page, we have certain words like this. Rapturously means with great joy. Panic-stricken means with a sudden feeling of fear. And distraught means worried and or disturbed. Now we have in page number 21 the English workshop. Now only the first part of this lesson is over and we have a workshop for this. Then we will continue with the second part of the lesson. So now read each of the following sentences aloud. Write who said it to it and to whom. Look, here's something for you. The above sentence was spoken by Monsieur Loisel to Mathilde. Why the dress you go to the theatre in? The above sentence was spoken by Monsieur Loisel to Mathilde. So you can take this down. So all of you take your notebooks and write. Question number 1. A. Look, here's something for you. The answer for the first one is the above sentence was spoken by, all of you write, the above sentence was spoken by Monsieur Loisel, M-O-N-S-I-E-U-R, Loisel, L-O-I-S-E-L, to Mathilde, Mathilde, M-A-T-H-I-L-D-E. Coming to the next one. B. Why the dress you go to the theatre in? Write the answer. The above sentence was spoken by Monsieur Loisel to Mathilde. The above sentence was spoken by Monsieur Loisel to Mathilde. The above sentence was spoken by Monsieur Loisel to Mathilde. Now next question is, I would rather not go to the party. I would rather not go to the party. The above sentence was spoken by Mathilde to Monsieur Loisel. Mathilde to Monsieur Loisel. Next one. Choose, my dear. The above sentence was spoken by Madame Forestier to Mathilde. The above sentence was spoken by Madame Forestier to Mathilde. Next one. You have nothing else. The above sentence was spoken by Mathilde to Madame Forestier. The above sentence was spoken by Mathilde to Madame Forestier. See the next one. Would you lend me this, just this? The above sentence was spoken by Mathilde to Madame Forestier. Same as question number E. Now, what, how, that is impossible. G. Question number G. What, how, that is impossible. The above sentence was spoken by Monsieur Loisel to Mathilde. The above sentence was spoken by Monsieur Loisel to Mathilde. Coming to the second question here, write a few lines about what Mathilde had and what she dreamt about. Write the answer. Mathilde lived in a shabby house. She had plain dresses and no jewels. She had always dreamt of She had always dreamt of a palatial mansion, Palatial, palatial mansion, Mansion, with vast rooms. She wanted to be envied, Envied. She wanted to be envied. Keep a full stop over there. Now coming to the third one. Write what you think about the following thoughts and actions of Mathilde. First question, write it down. Mathilde was beautiful and so she wanted to marry an aristocrat. Answer. Mathilde could have tried to be happy with her life. Mathilde could have tried to be happy with her life, but she gave so much importance to external beauty She wanted to be more beautiful. She should have been proud of her beauty, but should not have made it the reason for her unhappiness. She should have been proud of her beauty, but should not have made it the reason for her unhappiness. See the next question. Mathilde was sad because she did not get any luxuries. Answer. Mathilde was sad because she thought that she must be rich. She could have been happier. She could have been happier if she focused on the positive things in her life. She should have understood that materialistic things won't give her happiness. She should have understood that materialistic things won't give her happiness. Coming to the next one. Mathilde felt that her house was shabby and poorly furnished. Answer. Mathilde married a minor official who could only afford a simple house. She felt that the house was shabby. She felt that the house was shabby and poorly furnished. Mathilde shouldn't have looked at her house this way. Mathilde shouldn't have looked at her house this way. She could have decorated her house. She could have decorated her house with handmade objects to make it look more beautiful. Look more beautiful. Now see the next one. Mathilde wanted other people to envy her. Answer. Mathilde wanted other people to envy her because she had a sense of superiority over others. She had a sense of superiority over others. She wanted to have luxuries. She wanted to have luxuries and wanted to show off. Mathilde should have wished to be respected instead of being envied. Mathilde should have wished to be respected instead of being envied. The next question is E. Mathilde was not happy to see the invitation. Answer. Mathilde was not happy to see the invitation because she did not have a good dress or expensive ornaments to wear. Mathilde should have thought about how happy her husband was. About how happy her husband was to receive an invitation from the Minister of Education